today, just as a reminder.
Yeah.
Hey everyone, this is Andy Hall. This is the panel. Hello, panel. Hope you're doing okay today.
Yeah,
folks.
yeah.
If I have to replace meat, I'll replace it with chicken. Chicken is my vegetarian option.
You see, when you go vegetarian, I got to ask if people go vegetarian. Do you still eat fish? Do you still eat fish, Andy?
My girlfriend does. She eats fish and shellfish. I am a complete non-meatist. I'll eat eggs and everything like that. But
so you're not vegan. You're just vegetarian.
Yeah, I am not vegan.
Sorry, you know how we know you're vegan? You're not vegan is you don't tell every person you know.
This is correct. Well, in terms of being a zealot, in terms of being, as militaristic as I am about atheism, and as in my personal life, in terms of, that I'm completely off of meat, I really just don't wave my dick in people's faces about it a whole lot.
Was it The Simpsons did a joke where Lisa was claiming to be vegan, and this young upstart was like, "You're not a vegan. I don't eat anything that casts a shadow."
Right, I remember that too.
I got to tell you, Andy. It's actually I was late to watching your show, so I watched it in 1.75 speed. It's interesting you were talking about drugs because you sounded like a speed addict at that point.
Oh, excellent!
Yeah, you at a faster speed. You actually sound like someone who's on some uppers.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, I was on coffee. I don't know if coffee counts as uppers.
Yeah. I got an interesting. Some guy who is the husband of a girl that I worked with. He's posting some like bullshit about let's go maskless on Canada Day because hey we're so on top of it, which we're not yet. And also he said something because apparently Greg Abbott he posted this video, and I think he's in agreement with it, that Greg Abbott of Texas passed a law where no private company can ask for a COVID for a vaccine passport.
Yes,
I'm almost certain that goes right against the First Amendment. You could do it to pub as a government thing, but as a private organization, you can tell people, no, you are not.
Yeah,
you cannot. I have a right to refuse service to anyone, and I only want vaccinated people in my restaurant, for instance. They can't. That surely has to get struck down in the courts, right?
Yeah, more than likely it will, just because you have large companies like Morgan Stanley. We covered it on the show the other day. Basically telling people, if you're not wearing a mask, you can't come into work, and you may not even have a job. So it's going to be an expensive and unnecessary legal battle. that certain states are going to fight.
Yeah, wasn't it Florida also that what state was it that is losing a ton of cruise ships because they won't
That's Ron DeSantis is a lunatic.
Yeah.
Slightly related, but something that you made me think of that's really ticking me off at the moment is, and the latest example of this was a doctor just yesterday said to me, we used the term post-COVID or post-pandemic, and it hit me that this phrase, I get that I guess they mean since it started, but to use phrases and terms like post-pandemic implies we're past it.
Yes.
And that I take huge issue with that.
Yeah.
Well,
you see, this is the issue we face in Canada now, is that people are the same people that were bitching and complaining about the lockdowns are the same people that said, let's go maskless. You don't realize are these people that fucking stupid? They don't realize the correlation. We had lockdowns because you were idiots and you decided to have maskless rallies, which they all should have been arrested for because they had them in my town where they had 400 or 500 people at a place maskless, and the cops were ticketing like 10 of them, including, and it just pissed me off because these are part of the reason why I was unemployed 3 times in a fucking year.
Yeah, just to go back on Sammy's point about post-COVID, it always makes me think of the wolf from Pulp Fiction about let's not start sucking each other's dicks just yet.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Point well taken.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah. No, it's honestly, like it's the stupidity of people, and you know what? It's like, I think you say the Venn diagram of MAGAs, COVID deniers, and flat earthers. You're gonna have they're gonna meet in the middle, because because like I said, there was these couple of Facebook pages where you can go on a comment. They actually give you people. One of them is like, people should really learn the privacy settings or something, because you can go in and actually comment on these idiotic things. And I go and I basically, one of them was, Trump lost, deal with it. And some guy goes, do you really think Trump lost? I go, until you show me irrefutable evidence. And then this guy says, I got you. And he shares this thing of like this, I think it's called, it's an alternative to YouTube called Rumble or something. Okay. It's just a right wing. And he shares this video of apparently showing like this guy on with the My Pillow guy, who's on this far right blog, and right. And this guy interviews this guy, and he shows this like obviously the guy's got his voice thing and his thing because and his face covered because fear of the man, you know, and he's showing how, look at all these arrows of ballots that were changed and stuff, and I'm going, oh, and you know what, I just blocked the guy, because frankly, at that point, what's the point in trying to discuss it in a real issue? If you want to discuss an issue, at least be it on not be a QAnon moron, you know, which is exactly what these people are.
I see what you did there, Glenn, by refraining from the first choice of words you were going to say. Good job on the reticence there.
Yeah. There's the word which we always used to use as a kid, which is a very offensive. Yeah.
Yes. Love the shirt, John Hudson. That's
John. That looks really awesome.
Dude, the lettering on that shirt does pop. I don't even know how you do that. It almost looks like a video effect on your shirt right there.
Yeah. No trick photography.
No trick photography. It does look.
You know, Andy, I don't know if you noticed in the chat, I said I was going to talk to you after the show about your puppet idea. Yeah. So I've put some thought into this, and you've got some things to consider.
Please.
If you do a puppet, you're going to have to commit and do a voice, write a script for the puppet. If you stick with Mike, which I'm pretty sentimental, and Mike's kind of grown on me. He's kind of the silent, wise type. A good listener. Stick some goggly eyes on him and just move him into frame.
Oh, goggly eye. You know, Sammy, that's genius. Actually, that's far better than any puppet whatsoever.
Yeah, and I think right there, comedy gold.
That is genius, sir.
Yeah, but you gotta do the voice.
Well, I can do voices. I can do voices. But the googly eyes alone would be hilarious.
Like I said, you could do the puppet, and I think you'd do it well, but it would take some commitment,
right,
to make it work.
Hey, worked on Trailer Park Boys with Conky.
Well, the good thing about, because I'm always looking for low cost solutions, we might actually have googly eyes somewhere in the house.
And then all you need is a sock.
And then, I'm just going to put it on the mic.
There you are.
I'm just literally going to put it on the mic.
Oh, that would look great.
And then it would just be like, it would just be
popping out of the corner and stuff.
Yeah. I should say hello to Simply Secular Dave. You've been awfully quiet, Dave.
Good morning, Dave.
Oh, sorry. I was just checking the work board for today.
The work board. Yep.
Yeah, it looks like I didn't get dispatched, but it's very likely I'll be working today on a late call. So,
what do you do, Dave?
I'm a longshoreman.
Oh, cool. Keeping things coming in and going, huh?
Sounds like he's in porn. That's what he make it sound like.
That's where I know you.
It has nothing to do with fluffing.
the secret life of Simply Secular Dave.
It sounded more like importing drugs.
Right?
Well, we
Trafficking.
actually do as much as we possibly can to prevent that, especially in Vancouver. It's a huge port for the influx of opioids, heroin, and what's that nasty liquid they're putting in everything that's messing people up now?
No idea.
Which one?
Sweet tea?
Sweet tea.
Oh no, you have to be so so vigilant. There are people I work with who have opened up one of those containers at the port and found people in it. So
Really?
oh yeah.
Wow.
Nasty liquid. Maybe Dr. Pepper?
Hey, that's a Texas State drink.
Oh my-
Don't be knocking that.
If you want to have the craziest drink you've ever put in your mouth, I was on a camping trip one time and we threw a bunch of booze in a cooler. And we were almost at the campsite, off in the sticks, and we're in the 4-wheel drive, and we're almost there. And my buddy says, "Hey, grab a couple of these Slurpee cups out of the cab, grab some ice, grab a bottle of booze and a bottle of pop, whatever it is, we'll drink it. We're almost there. We're gonna be there in 10 minutes anyway. It's hot out." So I come back to the cab with 2 cups full of ice and a bottle under each arm. Jump in the truck and we zoom off to catch up to the guys in front of us who know where we're going. And he goes, "What did you get?" And I look at him like, "I got Dr. Pepper and Southern Comfort."
Oh God, that sounds like you'd be sick as all hell.
Yeah, it would taste good going down, but the pain would be real.
I remember my drunken Southern Comfort incident when I went traveling and I was in South Africa. Oh my God, it was no.
Everybody has that story, Glenn.
Yeah. Yeah, my first really bad one involved tequila, which put me off tequila for 5 years, I think.
Yeah. I had a bad experience with gin.
Tequila, a donkey, and a ladyboy was mine.
A what?
You heard me, Glenn.
It just sounds like you're about to incriminate yourself, Sandy.
Oh, no, that was it. That's all you get.
Okay.
You have to use your imagination.
Well, there was that one time in Tijuana.
Oh God.
So, Dave, you're sharing the screen here. I'm going to click this button.
This is a typical day at Dave's work.
Wow.
Dave,
Marty Barge.
you were saying that one of your guys found like people that were kidnapped. Obviously, it was human trafficking, right? That they found these people.
Yeah. They were trying to get into Canada. Yeah.
So is it?
Yeah,
Is it?
alive.
I'm guessing. Am I wrong in guessing that usually most of it is coming from like either China or Japan or something like that because of like the population? Because Vancouver does have a big Chinese population, right? If I'm not mistaken, or is it?
I don't think we have
I
strong
thought we.
border between us and China as far as access to Canada goes.
Yeah.
I would hesitate to pinpoint a specific incident and say that it's in generality is an indicator that this country is sending people here or more than others. I would say a lot of the people that we interact with on the ships are from Southern Asia, Indonesia, China, and they're from all over the place.
What about from Boston? Is that a possibility?
No,
I'm asking for a friend. Is it possible?
No.
I know someone over there. You may not know this. I know someone over there who might be able to get me in, Dave.
Those container ships in Boston don't come all the way around to here. Yeah, we just service the Pacific Ocean. Yeah.
So what you're saying, I need to drive over to the West Coast, get myself into a ship, and then head over there.
Yeah.
There are ships that travel up and down the West Coast, but the ports that you would be going to before here would be like Seattle or San Francisco or LA, and the security there is probably double what it is in Canada.
Okay.
Your chances of making it, I mean, you could just drive to the border and say, I'm going to see my buddy Dave, and they'd be like, okay then, eh?
Okay.
You don't want to go to Canada, Andy. You get nothing but good advice and apologies.
Right.
And legal weed.
Well, I'm telling you, ever since I heard that Tasmania is the New Zealand of Australia, I have been focusing more on Tasmania as my as a place for me to go to, and a girlfriend.
You really need to look up some images. It is a naturally stunning place.
Yeah.
It's a good. You're a good salesperson for Tasmania.
How long does it take?
I hate
if
the
you
place.
if you wanted to do all of like if you go to Tasmania, are there certain places you want to go, or is it like a great place to just see the whole island?
You can drive the island in a day.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's small. Okay,
So
cool.
You would, yeah.
Yeah, cool.
But big enough that people aren't on top of each other by any means.
Yeah. Well, I did the East Coast of Australia, so I'd like to see more of. The East Coast of Australia took me longer to see the East Coast of Australia than like both islands in. Be like 10 cities in New Zealand. So
You really should do the western side.
Yeah.
It's a different world.
Yeah.
To the East Coast, absolutely.
A lot more relaxed, or
well, there's no people there to begin with. It's all wilderness and nature, sheer cliffs. Yeah,
some nice beaches and stuff.
Sorry,
still some great beaches.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah.
I am looking at pictures of Tasmania right now, and it does seem to be a magical place.
Yeah. Oh, just one more to talk about the story about Jim Baker. I couldn't buy Jim Baker's stuff because I was buying Alexis Jones's coronavirus cures.
Well, they're fighting for the same customer base.
Yeah. Like, and I also got a MyPillow because apparently that gives you great sleep and it takes away the COVID vibes.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah.
The COVID aura, it's going to completely reconfigure that aura.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but aren't those MyPillows just made out of old chunks of memory foam mattresses that people aren't using anymore?
I don't even know. I thought they were made out of angel's wings, to tell you the truth. So I don't know. I just
I like the whole idea that Mike Lindell will probably be bankrupt in a year because due to his $2.1 billion lawsuit and apparently his company is close to throwing him out anyway, or they already have. Oh,
Glenn, you're making me feel good today.
But if they throw him out, his fortune will be protected, right? And we everybody on this panel and everybody watching this knows that rich people don't experience the same consequence that poor people do.
Yeah.
So whatever happens to him, he'll have a lawyer and he'll appeal and he'll settle and he'll,
But also, but isn't it the fact that he
Tesla Ranger, I'm going to use that for a bit. I just want to let you know that I'm totally stealing that.
But if those the systems are if those election people are suing him personally and not his company, then they could go after his personal fortune, right?
Yeah, but he just declares bankruptcy, protects his company, protects his fortune, moves his assets to his children, and continues to make money from whatever portion of the company he still owns.
You're making a very good case for the guillotine. That's what you're doing. You're making a very good case.
But wouldn't they just be able to, like, if they just say you're bad for business and they oust him completely and give him and he's complete out of the company with zero
board, but they can't take away his shares.
Oh, okay. I guess, yeah. But they could buy his shares out, and then the company goes after those.
Forcibly buy his shares out. He could could transfer them to a handler for him. That's the worst they could do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I just want to. I got 11 minutes left, and as you all know, I'm focused on time. I want to say hello to Rage, as Rage has just been kicking around. I think he's.
Yeah, I've just been kind of listening. I just wanted to pop in and say hi. I've actually got to get ready for a stream. So, hello, and y'all have a good day.
All right,
hello.
Good to hear. Good to hear from you.
Hello. Goodbye.
Mind pillow. That Tesla Ranger mind pillow just has me filled just laughing inside. That's funny.
I gotta say, the girlfriend was right though. You're not going to get across the border if you say Canada.
Right.
They're gonna go. Yeah. You just head for Alaska and turn left.
That is why I do not want to be there.
Yeah. Well, I think they we extended the travel ban across driving across the border. You can still. This is what I don't understand. You can't drive, but you can fly to Florida. You can drive. You can fly to hotspots. You just can't drive to it. Which makes there's a lot of stupid things the Canadian government and all the provincial governments did and that's one of them. If you're going to shut down the border, you shut it down completely.
But you can go anywhere if you have a legitimate reason. If you say, I have property that's been unattended and I was told by my neighbors that there was some issues there, I'm going to check them out. You can go.
Yeah.
Like, that's not a problem. You say you have an elderly parent who's experienced a medical issue and you're going to assist them for a month. You're fine. You can still go places.
Yeah.
They just don't want people saying, yeah, we're going to go get shit-faced in a bar in Massachusetts for Andy's birthday for 3 days.
Yeah. Well, it sucks, but I'm to the extent that, you know what, unless you honestly, if you could prove it, if you can. I don't know if they verify, if you say, oh, I've got a property, maybe you have to verify the issues. I don't know if that's the case, but if they're not fully 100% vetting everyone that's crossing the border, then it's an issue.
They do say to bring information to the border with you, and it's very, very good if you're not traveling for work or for an emergency, that you pre-apply, right?
Yeah.
C'est Noël, c'est comme ça.
What?
Non, mais c'est Minecraft qu'il voulait. C'est Minecraft. Mais non, papa, c'est Minecraft. Mais où t'as trouvé ça?
Oh my!
Mais non, c'est pas pareil, c'est un jeu vidéo, Minecraft. C'est pour les gamins.
Fuck.
C'est possible.
That was pretty funny. Obviously, a bit that has bit written all over it.
Still funny.
Still
It's
funny.
still funny. Oh yeah, it's still funny.
Yeah.
I thought I had to throw that in before we.
That was great.
Yeah. And it's because they were also busting a lot of people, the Canadian, because people that wanted to go to Alaska, they were going through Canada, and they were going okay, and a lot of them were getting annoyed because they'd stop and just sightsee instead of going straight directly to Alaska. My thing would have been to tell them, you want to go to Alaska? Go left. Use that ocean. Go up there. I'm just so sick and tired of the people that are fucking the system.
Yeah. Jesse Bear mentions fentanyl.
Fentanyl, yeah.
Is that it?
That's what I was talking about. Yeah.
Right.
There's just so much of that, and it's so easy to transport, and it's so easy to hide. Yeah.
The doctors gave me that a couple years ago, and it really fucks you up.
Oh, it's not. Well, I mean, anything in the right strength can really mess you up.
They were going to give it to my son to try and stop his seizing.
Oh,
that when we were just in the hospital, the midazolam didn't work the first time, which is odd. Midazolam is damn strong stuff, and he had a big dose. Had to have a second dose, and if that didn't work, they were going to go to the fentanyl. So it must be strong stuff.
Is that known to help for that specific condition, or were they just trying to at that point
No, it is used to stop seizures.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, fentanyl is fentanyl and all the other stuff that's illegal is in small doses is used in hospitals all the time.
Oh yeah, but
Yeah.
I didn't know. I've never heard of it actually been used to stop like epileptic seizures or anything like that. Like I don't know. I'm not that versed on
Yeah.
the whole.
Well, I don't even. Honestly, when I was a kid, I had epilepsy, and I had to take medication every day. I have no clue what the hell was in it, but it worked. So
Yeah.
and I grew out of it. So
See, it's a rescue med. It's not something that's used generally.
Yeah.
It's like a last ditch sort of.
I had a doctor. My doctor in Salt Lake was giving it to me for my back, but he's also the one who was prescribing the oxys to me. So,
Yeah.
I found natural remedies that work a lot better.
well, it's but that's what the thing is. This is that the world is so hesitant to use the natural stuff like pot to see. It's like finally in the last 30 years, people have finally 20 or 30 years, people have finally realized the medicinal use of pot and of what it, and instead of these, because the pot's not addictive, whereas all these stuff that the oxys, all that shit is so goddamn addictive.
I have to interject there, Glenn. It is addictive. There's different forms of addiction. They don't all have to be physical. But I just wanted to cut in because not to host your show, Andy, but did you have a question? Your face told me you had a question when John said he prefers natural remedies.
I thought we were just we're actually talking about marijuana right now, so I think
we got there anyway.
Actually dovetailed into that topic.
Yeah,
but I want to go with
an addiction you can live with.
I agree with Sammy. Is that in all reality, you can get addicted to a lot of things. You can, gambling addiction. You're just kind of hooked onto that dopamine burst in your head or your serotonin, whatever it is. And so, you can get a codependent with a lot of things. And I've known people who just smoke a lot, who just imbibe a lot, and seem to be dependent on it.
Yeah, have you all watched the CNN those hour-long specials, Weed?
I didn't see that.
Well, what's his name? Dr. Sanjay Gupta, I think it was, is the CNN guy. Yeah, he did. He used to be very against, he didn't realize until he started to do his research, and he did the. There's actually been, I think, at least 3. I saw the first one where they where there was this girl, she was, I think, 3 years old, was having 50 or 60 seizures a day, and they were able to find they were able to find a way to get this drop that was just had no THC in, because obviously you don't want to get a 3-year-old high, but it was a certain percentage of THC.
It's
CBD.
The cannabidiol. CBD.
And she went down from, I think, 50 seizures a day to maybe 3 or 4 a day, and it proves that it works. And there's actually, if you can find it on YouTube, I'd
love to take 30 seconds of your last 2 minutes. My son got on the Australian trial for that, and he had the highest number of seizures on the trial, the poor bugger. So we had to count the first month's trials, and he had over 400. I think it was about 450 or something for the month. And his first month on the cannabidiol, he halved. And by the end of the trial of the 12 months, he was down to 5-10 a day, which is where he's at now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
in some cases, they know what is going on there, and in some they don't. And we keep saying everybody's different. Medical conditions are different. Symptoms are different. Reactions to drugs are different. And there's a lot of medical, because we've been so uptight about CBD, that there's been a lot of medical uses of marijuana.
And the unfortunate
not
thing
got there
is that people with the exact same conditions have had
Hey,
no
here comes
benefit.
my guy. I'm gonna slip out.
Good seeing you, John. Take
See ya.
care.
Later,
Bye-bye.
John.
See,
Take care.
yeah, there's people who have had no benefit from it. So
Yeah.
you know, it does affect everyone differently.
Does your son have epilepsy then?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like I said, I had it as a kid, and I was able to go. I only had one really big grand mal seizure, which is how I think they discovered that I had epilepsy, and I also had hyperactive disorder. So I was on medication for that, and medication, and Ritalin for thing, but you know, and at least like I was lucky because. I don't know the percentage of kids that if you have childhood epilepsy actually grow out of it, but I was one of the ones that actually grew out of it, and I was off medication by the time I was 14.
Yeah, Glenn, I wonder why you're not a stand-up comedian. A lot of us have ADHD and everything, you know. But I'm going to give the last word to Sammy, and then we're going to have to head up.
It's quite a large percentage of kids that have epilepsy will grow out of it, and a large number of children, more than most people think, do have some form of epileptic fit in their childhood. Even just one. Unfortunately, my son's it's a secondary thing. It's caused by his genetic condition. So his is lifelong, unfortunately. So it's just a matter of trying to control them.
All right, Sam, you're in my thoughts, brother.
Yeah.
You and yours.
Yeah. Good luck with that, man.
And
hope.
People in the chat, thanks for showing up. People in the panel, always a pleasure. And we're going to do the same crazy thing tomorrow.
Yeah. Have a good day, guys.
Take care.
Later.
Hit the end.